What up, fans? Yes, it is the Sports Arena. It is Monday night, and we are here rocking. And man, it is the playoff time of the year. Yes, I know you can see my hat, my New Jersey Devils. John, well, I'll bring him in a second, but he's got his. Our teams are, in the Eastern Conference. They're looking good, and obviously his basketball playoff team is looking good. We got a lot to get to, so we are so glad you're here with us on the sports arena, and let's bring him in. The man, the myth, the legend. He was not here last week because he had duties. He's got to be responsible, I guess, sometimes. But our man here on the sports arena, John Shear. What up, man?
Hey, what up? My there we go.
There you
Camera
go.
finally turned back on.
Oh, okay.
Is it on? All right. Yeah,
Well,
man.
I don't see you. I
Yeah, I
just
don't
have
know
a.
my camera. I just turned my camera back on, and for some reason it decided not to come back on. But anyway, you can still hear me, right?
Yeah, we got you. I
While
mean,
the
I
camera's
definitely
taking
got
its good old time. The Heat are up by 7 with 19 seconds left, so you and
you.
I are
Yeah.
having a great night.
Well, like anytime the Rangers lose, and I get to hear their fans with excuses, because look, the one thing that you and I didn't talk a ton about real quick, and oh, there you are. We'll get
Yeah.
into hockey. Um, we'll get into we have our hockey wrap at the end. The one thing I will say all year is the Devils with this young team, and you and I talked about it, the team speed, and the trades they made at the trade deadline. I mean, you get Meyer, who was highly sought after. I mean, there was quite a few. I mean,
Yeah.
wait, would I have loved to got Patrick Kane in a Devils uniform? What am I going to say no to that, John? Of
Right.
course not.
Of
But
course.
I'm just saying, Meyer's a guy that, like, you flip him coast, and it's like, oh, you gave up a little bit for him, but you trade for Meyer. You basically got like a pseudo pre-trade, a little bit pre-trade deadline because of his injury. You signed Palat in the offseason, but he didn't play the first 2 months, 3 months, John, 2.5 months.
Yeah.
Sorry, the calendar rolls together. But look, that being said, we will get to hockey. The news of the day, which I mean, you and I were talking before the show. I mean, everybody's been talking all day. It's not really news because it's just been
We knew it was
everybody's
coming.
waiting
Yeah.
for it to get done. Yes, Aaron Rodgers finally the deal with the Jets. The Packers, they switch first round picks, so the Packers get 13. The Jets move down to 15 in the first round. The Packers pick up one of those second round picks, the 42 pick. The Jets still keep the 43 pick. But so the Packers, they swap first rounds. They get 43. They also get, what was
They
it,
get
like
a second rounder next year that
no,
becomes
hold
a
on, but they got another one. They got like 170 this year too.
Well,
So they
well,
got
the
three
the Jets
this
got a
year.
fifth this year, and the Packers got a sixth. The Jets move up into the fifth. Packers move back to the sixth. Then the Packers get a second next year that becomes a first if Aaron Rodgers plays at least 65% of the snaps.
Well, how is Aaron Rodgers not going to play
Well,
65% of
I
the
mean, he
snaps?
could get hurt.
No,
You
that's
know,
why I
anything
thought.
could
Well,
happen.
that's why I thought that part. Well, okay, knock on wood. As much as I can't stand him half the time. I don't root for that. But and I
But
know you're
that,
not
just
saying
saying
that.
that's
But
part of the deal. Yeah.
right, I will say this though. I'm surprised the Packers because I mean they got 42, but I literally thought that trade with the Browns when we talked about it that night, um, or when we talked about it after the trade with the Browns happened on the show, that everybody said, well, I know Schefter was reporting and NFL Network and all those guys are reporting Ian Rapport that it doesn't mean that the Packers are getting 42 and 43. And you heard me say on the show, John, yeah, if I'm an Eskimo, then sell me ice. There's no way they didn't make that trade thinking that the Packers aren't taking, they'll swap. And I said they're going to swap first round picks. The Packers get both those seconds and nothing. Because my theory was behind that, I didn't say it then, John, is then you're not even carrying it in next year's draft. You get the first, you swap first and you get 2 seconds. And maybe, like you said, the fifth to sixth, this
Yeah,
year
it's really,
they
yeah,
move.
it's not that big.
That's fine, but you're not pushing into next year. So the Jets kept the 43rd. The Packers, again, with the conditional pick
But the
next
big
year.
thing is the second that can turn into a first in the 2024.
Right. And that's what I'm saying.
the
Yeah.
big-
So when I saw that too, I'm just like, I mean, the Jets worded it that way, but it's like, are you just annoyed with how the negotiations went down because it took so long and now you can finally send Aaron Rodgers, which maybe they were, but like your playbook. But John, let me ask you this because you weren't here last week. Let's start with this. It was linked because they had been talking and hanging out, whatever, in California that Odell Beckham Jr. was going to be linked to Aaron Rodgers. And last week we touched on, shout out to Cortland who joined me and then Eric as well. is it almost surprising in a way that he did sign with Baltimore because of what Lamar Jackson is going through? Yes, he got 15 million, John, for 1 year. Awesome. But with as much as he's linked, you're not surprised that he didn't wait for Aaron Rodgers and sign with the Jets.
Well, no, because I mean, if he went to the Jets, think about all the receivers that had signed there. Alan Lazard,
Yeah.
they went and got Wilson last year. Like all the weapons that he's not going to be the focal point of when they throw the ball.
Wait, John, let me ask you this. You're going to throw the ball more to Alan Lazard than you would to Odell Beckham Jr. Aaron Rodgers is going to get the ball to OBJ.
That's his guy. And you're not going to not pass to Wilson, Garrett Wilson. Like, you're not going to just ignore him. You know that.
Well, the offensive
Breece Hall's
right.
going to get the ball. So, and plus, I think the key factor.
But John, let me ask you this then. Let me ask you this and that, because I get what you're saying. I totally see what you're saying. But look how Odell Beckham Jr. adjusted with, and granted it was one guy, but I mean with Cooper Kupp, who again I know Matthew Stafford was a new quarterback there, but. And we talked about it last week. I mean, Cooper Kupp to that point, not that you ever disagree with this point, but Odell Beckham Jr. up to the point where he got hurt in the Super Bowl was kind of leading the way for MVP with what he did. So I'm saying he could adjust to that, but I get what you're saying. I don't know. I just thought he'd be a really good fit with Aaron Rodgers as much as those two are divas, John.
Well, I think that the only reason that he signed with Baltimore was Baltimore's the only team willing to pay him that crazy amount of money. I don't think anybody else was giving him, a 30-plus-year-old receiver with multiple torn ACLs in his career. He's been injured a lot. He hasn't been the same OBJ since the Giants. Like, we haven't seen that.
Well, he was becoming that with the Rams. Well, right. I mean, yes, 100% agree with you. I'm not just trying to argue.
And if you're paying him that much. You're paying him that much. You're paying him to be the Giants' OBJ.
Right, but we saw when he got comfortable with the Rams and healthy, like what he can still do. So I get it. I like your point, but I'm just saying, don't say that we started seeing it go back up. But to your point, yes, another injury. Okay, so when you look at Aaron Rodgers now, though, with the Jets, okay, now our guy Rockin' Reese, shout out to him, always joining us, says Rodgers, and I know this is music to your ears, will be the third best. The third best QB in the
best, yeah.
Yeah.
He already is the third best. Like, he doesn't have to become it. He already is because he's not better than Tua and he's not better than Allen. So
I knew we're not going to get biased again Tua, right, with Josh Allen. I'm just saying a man that can throw the ball like he does, and as much as he drives me crazy. But to your point, okay, Breece Hall coming off an injury too. So we don't know if. And again, I'm not saying Breece Hall needs training, can't be a running back. Obviously, it's different with quarterbacks and receivers, as we know. But how much does a healthy Breece Hall, and I know it kind of seems almost like a meatball question, but when you think about it, we saw what Breece Hall started doing last year healthy with no quarterback. But now with Aaron Rodgers and these receivers, I mean, your Dolphins bias aside, are the Jets a legit threat? Not just in the East, but in the AFC.
Not at all. Not at all. I think you got to learn how to win games. Salah hasn't made the playoffs. He hasn't come close to making the playoffs. We haven't seen the Jets win games yet. We've seen them win some regular season games, but we haven't seen them make a statement yet. And at least for my money, we haven't seen that yet. They've won some games against the Bills and stuff like that, but until we really see it, because the AFC, think about it, Mike. I mean, Trevor Lawrence, Tua, Allen, Burrow, if Jackson's still there, Deshaun Watson, Herbert, Patrick Mahomes, like all of these quarterbacks are in the AFC, and I'm sure I left out some others. Russell Wilson, think about all of the quarterbacks in the AFC, and this isn't the NFC, where you could be a mediocre quarterback and be a top 5, top 10 quarterback in the NFC. Like, this is the AFC where it's absolutely stacked. So I think Aaron Rodgers is going to have to be MVP form. And at his age, what we saw this year looked like a little bit of a decline. I just don't see it from Aaron Rodgers. I just don't see it. The AFC's too good for at this point in Rodgers' career. Like, if you had prime Aaron Rodgers, then yeah, but you're not getting prime Rodgers.
I'm just thinking the guy's 1 year removed from back-to-back MVPs, John. So I do see what you're saying there, but to me, that's the whole point with Breece Hall. And the running game. And the
Well, they
one
had a
thing
running game
I feel,
in Green Bay.
right, but
too.
that's what yes, and you did that. But I'm saying he won with that running game. He still threw for a lot, and won back-to-back MVP. So look, he's got his own. He's got his. He's gonna make his. I'm not gonna say make it up, but he's definitely got that chip now, and he wants to prove it. And everything that went down in Green Bay, plus the other thing too is he wants to have a better season than Jordan Love. Which you're right, there should be loftier goals. I'm not laughing at Jordan Love because look,
I am.
I think the kid can. First of all, I think the kid can play. I think that from what you saw him in college, again, he was taken. They traded back up. They could have got him in the second round. They didn't need to trade back up in the first, but he was a hot name. Fine, the Packers wanted to do it. If now with that division, the Lions getting better, Jordan Love's going to have his work cut out for him. But I will say this: when I look at Aaron Rodgers and I look at the Jets, what you're saying about Salah, okay, but it's kind of like the Dan Campbell of the AFC. John, they don't quit for Salah. That defense never quit. You have the offensive defensive rookie of the year. You have a team that, yes, once Breece Hall went down, they were different. As much crap as I give you about Dolphins, Jets, but I mean, in all seriousness, when Breece Hall was just starting to hit his stride and get into his own, and they were working him into the offense nicely. So I will say, I mean, to Rock and Reese's point, yeah, I'm not going to put him ahead of Josh Allen. I will say him and Tua are equal until I see different. I know what Tua did on the field last year. I've given him his props. I'm not trying to start a fight with you, but I'm just saying with what Aaron Rodgers has done, and yes, Tua being on the field in a younger career, I'm totally with what you're saying. And yes, giving Tua the advantage to what they have. Do they need to run the ball a little bit better? Yes, I think they do. But for Aaron Rodgers and the Jets, I mean, John, that's absolutely. I look. It's about time. I mean, when it came down, everybody's like saying breaking news, and I'm like, what the hell broke? And it's like I'm watching it, and it's like Aaron Rodgers got traded to the Jets. I'm like, okay, you've been saying it for 3 months. Like you took the excitement away. It's like if as a kid I got all my Christmas presents in June, I'd be like, well, why am I excited about Christmas?
But we've seen, Mike, in years past that teams, they don't do it at the beginning of free agency. They wait until the draft. Or they wait until that June 1st, they wait until players make, less money afterwards and they got to pay them less. They wait for that June 1st or whether they wait for the draft. Eagles last year with A.J. Brown, Titans, I mean, they waited until the draft. I think
they had to get this done before the draft, though. I mean, Lamar Jackson,
right, but it's right about draft time. It's a couple days.
Well, no, 100%. I mean, to me, they just had to get it done before the draft because inevitably, if you don't, like, if you're the Packers, Aaron Rodgers is going to sit there and whine. And yeah, I know we need stuff to talk about, I guess, as playoffs end and stuff like that. But really, do you want to be sitting here in July talking about how Aaron Rodgers is still whining and not a Packer? I mean, I know I don't, but
something we're not talking about is Aaron Rodgers has always had to deal with the media in Green Bay, Wisconsin, which, I mean, it probably isn't that hard of media to deal with. He's going to New York. If he struggles or if the team struggles and he throws that diva stuff in New York, that's gonna be a circus. Like,
remember when Randy Johnson tried it, John? Remember when Randy Johnson with the CBS camera guy said, "Oh yeah, we met the other day." Remember? And Randy Johnson just got he's just kind of like, New
York media is a different animal, and Aaron Rodgers never 100%. Dealt with it. And if it goes south at all, or if it goes south fast to start the season, and drama starts, boy, that's going to be quite the circus.
Oh, quite 100%. The circus. Well, no, and here's the thing. And look. And people say it's a lot with the New York media, and I'm not going to say that I'm not saying they don't want clickbait, obviously, in this day and age, but they're also the type of media, to your point, John, who they'll ask you questions. Yes, some might be ridiculous and not, I guess I use the word fair, but they will ask you direct questions that are fair. And yes, to your point, if Aaron Rodgers acts like that, because I'm not going to say when they say, oh, New York media, it's not that other media and other journalists aren't good, but you're right. It's just like, they're on eggshells. New York media is like, cool, if they throw me out, now I got something else to write about. And they look even worse because they threw me out for asking a legitimate question. I mean,
that's exactly right.
So it's it is a give take, but yeah, I mean, I remember I said this like after the season or when the Jets first came up and he came out of his little dark room. I was like, please let him go to the Jets because the first time he tries that crap, They're going to
Oh my
destroy him in the
gosh.
press conference. And guess what? When he's like, I don't want them in here. Yeah, like you said, John, like Dorothy, you ain't in Kansas anymore, kid. You ain't in Green Bay anymore. They ain't going to get rid of people because you can't take it. But I mean, look, I'm with you. It'll be fun. I think it makes, again, the quarterbacks, you listed all of them in the AFC. I think it'll be fun with the New York media. It'll make it even more fun. And here's the thing, for Giants fans are so happy about this because think about it. It's not about competing with the Jets. It's about now you don't have to hear like Daniel Jones isn't going to be getting attacked. They're just going to be crushing Aaron Rodgers, or complimenting him. I mean, either way, they're either going to be complimenting him or crushing him. There's going to be no like the gray area like in Green Bay, like you said. All right. So I think your team just won. Your team won.
Yeah.
Yes, they did by 5. They are up 3-1. Okay, so that's going to transition John and I into the NBA. He's got his Heat jersey on.
By the way, Jimmy Butler had 56 tonight.
I was going to get to that. I saw Jimmy Butler was going nuts. It's funny because I was watching the Devils Rangers, of course, and I kept looking at scores. And when John's like, yeah, the game's almost over, before we start, I go, no, it's not. It's in the third quarter. And I look at the score. I go, there's 19 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Okay. But, yeah, Jimmy Butler went nuts tonight with his I love it. Somebody said I will give Around the Horn a shout-out because Tony Reale was hilarious today, John. He goes, yeah, Jimmy Butler had a glute incident, so he's literally got a pain in the butt. I mean, it's so cheesy. It's a dad joke, but come on. It was funny. No, but so they are now up 3-1, which when you look at this series, yes, Giannis went down, and I know now he played tonight. He did play tonight from what I saw, right? Tell me I'm wrong.
Who did?
Giannis.
Oh, yeah, Giannis, he played really well. He took the game over.
Yeah, because you guys were up by a lot, yes. And I saw that. And with
welcome to the show.
What up, man?
Hey, what's up, Mike? What's up, Johnny? Yeah, man, just had to come in. Finally get to be on the show for a change. So it was like, instead of like coming in like a half hour late, like I normally do. But yeah, but anyway, yeah. First of all, Mike, like I said, congratulations on the Ranger. Or the Devils winning, beating the Rangers.
Yeah, whoa.
I caught myself in time. I caught myself. See, I got a little too excited because
there's nothing exciting about the Rangers. I mean, look, John knows there's hard ways to get in the penalty box, and there's easy ways to get in the penalty box. That's an easy. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
But no, it's awesome. But no, I mean, with now the Heat being up 3-1 and Reese's where we're going. Obviously, the Knicks are up 3-1. A lot of people surprised about that because, and look, I was one of them. I thought it would be a decent series, but I didn't think the Cavs would miss as many open shots. Now, I'm not even going to pick on defense, John. Don't fall over. When you miss that many open shots in the NBA, like, that's scary. But when you look at these teams that are down 3-1 right now, I know who do you think, and I know, John, you wouldn't, but who do you think can come back? Because I know the Timberwolves are down 3-1 to the Nuggets. The Clippers, with their injuries, and Kawhi probably isn't going to play. Now the Bucks are down 3-1. The Cavs are down 3-1. And the Hawks are down 3-1. So out of all that madness, John, okay, you can't take your Heat. Out of all those,
I'm going to pick the Bucks.
Take the Bucks.
You think the Bucks could come back? It's the obvious pick. Like, they are the number 1 seed in the East for a reason. I mean, they were one of the best teams in basketball for a reason. You have Giannis. He's clearly back, and he played really well tonight. And you potentially get 2 out of 3 games at home. You get Game 5 at home. Got to win Game 6 on the road. Then you get Game 7 at home. It's easily the Bucks. The Bucks shouldn't be down 3-1. The Heat don't have Tyler Herro, and the Bucks still are down 3-1. Credit to my Heat. But it's got to be the Bucks. It's an easy pick. I mean, you have Giannis, you're number 1 seed. There's no reason you should be losing this, but you're never out of it until you're out of it. So like the Golden State, you're never out of it until you're out of it.
Well, what's up? Eric Wilson's here. Look at that, man.
Hey, what's up, Eric?
Hey, gentlemen. Good evening. What's going on? How are you?
Man, well, hey, look, we did you a favor. We talked about Aaron Rodgers and got rid of him already.
No, John just decided to grace us with whatever he's wearing.
Wade, this is my Wade jersey. One of my 10 Wade jerseys.
Okay.
Well, okay.
Yeah.
So I was gonna. We're talking about teams that are down 3-1 that can that can come back. John actually did pick the Bucks, shockingly enough. I think he's trying to use reverse
I
psychology.
mean, I would be dumb not to pick the Bucks. Like,
all right, fair enough. But who's your team to come back from 3-1? I mean, you got the Cavs down 3-1, Minnesota down 3-1, the Hawks down 3-1, the Bucks down 3-1.
I mean,
Clippers.
The Bucks
Clippers.
right now Clippers aren't. I'm telling you right now, Clippers is over.
Yeah.
With Kawhi not playing.
Yeah, I'll make
Clippers
mine
is over.
short and sweet.
Yeah.
None of them are coming back.
I mean, honestly, the only team I can see potentially coming back is Milwaukee, but I don't even see it. So let me go ahead and maybe put the cart before the horse. But congratulations to John Shear. We'll see you in the second round. Whoever you play against, though, that's going to be the end of your play.
If they win, right?
Yeah. So that'll be the end of your season.
Everybody thought about Milwaukee too.
Yeah, but
I picked us in 6.
Here's what I'll say to that, John. And here's what I'll say to that. Unless
John,
an injury,
John, you guys would play the winner of the Heat Cavs. You guys keep switching the.
Yes.
You guys keep switching.
They don't do it like
no.
SD plays worse.
No, because
NHL.
No,
John, I made
history,
that same mistake.
Yeah,
last week.
Eric did the same thing. He flipped the brackets. No, because the number 1 seed will always play the 8 seed, as we know.
Right.
But they put the 4 or 5 with the 1 because they want 2 and 3 to play in the second round because they want to try and even though after the first round, I mean, between 1 and 4 in the East this year, I mean, it was crazy, but they could play 5 too. They want the 1 seed playing that.
Okay.
So 2 and 3 normally are going to meet up. And so, okay, Rock and Reese, you say nobody. Eric, you say the Bucks. Let's get to your Sixers, man. Where's your broom? I thought you were going to join us. I thought you were going to have the broom out, baby.
No. In the words of the great Kobe Bryant, job's not finished. Just because we beat Brooklyn. And I will say this to you, shameless plug. Thursday night, you might want to tune in to the Sip Off because there is a certain someone on that show who came out of their mouth, out of both sides of their neck, I won't say his or her, talking about Brooklyn was going to beat Philly. And I said, you and John, and ode to you, my brother, I almost said your famous 2 words that you want me to say so badly. I almost said it, but I said, let me hold off. But now that it has happened, I'm happy that it happened. Congratulations to the Sixers. On to the next round. Let's see who we get because the health of Joel Embiid plays a major factor now moving forward.
Yep.
So I want the series that is going on right now between Boston and Atlanta. I want that series to continue on.
Go 7.
Yeah, I'd love that series to go 7.
Well, that's why I said in our notes today, Eric, or said every single Boston fan is, or every single Philly fan is an Atlanta fan because they don't care if Boston wins the series, but they just want to go for them to force Game 7 because that'll give him an extra week off, basically, and to go from there. Let me ask you this, though. To the point of the injury, though, how much have you been impressed with? Because I didn't even think about this when I thought about this right when we started the show and knowing that Philly has swept them. But how much James Harden has settled into that role and how well him and Embiid play off each other. Not just because he's a Sun Devil, Eric, but he's a great basketball player too, is James Harden.
Listen, I have echoed the sentiments that the analysts and the former NBA athletes have said. I don't need James Harden to drop 50. I don't need James Harden to drop 40. I don't need James Harden to drop 30. What I need is a consistent 20 and 12 from James Harden. What has been my talk about Philadelphia and more specifically Philadelphia teams this year? Be consistent. That's all I ask of y'all because I know what we have. As a fan, I'm excited more than I think I've been in many years to see multiple Philadelphia teams successful. Okay? You guys know me and Rock and Reese, you'll get to know me very quickly. I am a diehard football tunnel vision guy from August to February. That is what I am. But to see what Philly has done, the Sixers have done, Joel Embiid, James Harden, my guy, the guy that I'm still like, where are you? And I need you to step up is Maxey. And granted, in this first series against Brooklyn, I was like, okay, I'm getting to see a little bit of it. I need more. Like, I want more Maxey. That's what I want right now. I think he will be the guy that, we talk about some of these other teams. We talk about some of these other players who need to step up. You ask me right now, Tyrese Maxey is my guy. I need him to stand up. That's what I need. looking at Philadelphia going into this next round, whomever we get, if we are blessed to face John Shear's Miami Heat, then guess what? It's going to be me and John for 6-7 games going back and forth. That's just what we do. We did it last year. We're going to do it, or 2 years ago, whatever we did
it. Last year when you tried booking it and we beat you.
Yeah, exactly. So last year, and hey, I got to give kudos to my man John. He knew more than I did. I'll shamelessly plug him for that.
I want to face you in the Eastern Conference Finals so bad.
Unfortunately that won't happen. We'll see each other in the second round.
Well, you'll play Boston next year.
No, you get Boston or Finals.
You play Boston.
Okay. It would be the Eastern Conference Finals.
Okay, I'm just gonna from now on. I'm gonna defer to Mike when it comes to brackets because I'm so lost in this.
Me too.
All right,
makes no sense.
So basically, what we're wanting is we want a Boston Miami Eastern Conference Finals, and then we want either a Miami Phoenix or a Philly Phoenix NBA.
No. I want Miami and Philly Eastern Conference Finals. I want me versus you.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Me versus you.
That's what I meant. Philly, Miami,
Finals,
Eastern Conference Finals,
crap
and then the one of whoever wins between me and you has
Mike,
to
I'll fill for you, buddy.
and his Phoenix Suns in the NBA Finals.
Don't feel for him. He's got Kevin Durant over there. Like, don't feel for him.
He's got Kevin
Kevin
Booker.
Oh no, I just meant as far as
bad.
it came to the conference finals, I'll feel for him, and then after that part,
I mean, yes, defer to me on the bracket. But the one thing the NBA has never done is reseed. They've always when 1-8, that 4-5 is right there. So that's why they look at it as like if the 5 seed wins, the 1 seed, of course, still as we know has home court. But you're looking at 2 and 3 knocking each other out and doing the favor for the number 1
Mike,
seed.
I think you muted yourself, which is a very rare thing, but
that's a good thing. That's okay. I'm not upset by it.
Wait, can you hear me now?
I can.
Maybe I'm muted.
Unfortunately,
I think Eric's muted. Oh, unfortunately. Yeah, you're funny looking, John. Funny guy. John's got jokes.
But I do got to ask this question to everybody if I can toss
go
around.
ahead.
This is going to be two of the last, or should Miami knock Milwaukee off? I think this is either be 2 of the last 3 or 4 seasons where the Bucks have been number 1, but then the Heat take them out. What's going to happen? How's that going to look for Miami?
This is revenge for that
for
sweep.
Milwaukee.
This is revenge for that sweep 2 years ago when they ran their mouth, swept us out of the playoffs first round, ran their mouth about it, and since we beat them the year before, this is revenge for that sweep. So I haven't forgotten. We haven't forgotten. Tyler broke his wrist. We just continued trucking along. Like, this is revenge. This is personal.
Look, man, the one person we're not talking about, and I know Megan wouldn't be sad, obviously, John, being a San Antonio fan, but every basket and every assist that Jalen Brunson makes, it's just a big, I will say, a big foam middle finger to the Dallas Mavericks because he had a solid regular season. We talked about him. I know Luka was asked, there he is. Luka was asked, how much do you miss him? And, whatever. Maybe one of his people put the reporter up to that, said to ask it. It was kind of a softball weak question. But every basket, Eric, I'm saying that Jalen Brunson makes is like a finger to the Mavericks who didn't go to the playoffs, who are trying to, get in the Victor Wembanyama sweepstakes. And you look at Luka, and I still stand by it. I love the way Luka can score, but I'll take a rim protector. And again, with KD being here a little different, even with Devin Booker and Chris Paul, I'll take DeAndre Ayton over Luka because of the defense. And Jalen Brunson got his $100 million. Man, I'll tell you what, every basket he makes, and I mean, if I had to pick a 3-1 team, I'll keep it short too. I was going to go with the Cavs coming back just because, Eric, before you got on, I was saying an NBA team. I'm not even picking on no defense. You missed that many open shots to where there's open shots the 4 of us could have hit because there was nobody around, and you're just sending up shots. And look, I use the glass all day from 15 feet in, man. I'm all about the backboard. Those guys are missing shots. Look, I'm not saying they do, but they would be my pick. But Jalen Brunson, he leads them to the second round. John, be careful what you wish for. I'm just saying.
I'm not worried about that.
Well,
I'm just happy we're avoiding Boston.
Until we're keeping that clip.
Finals.
We're gonna have our guy put that clip out because if the Knicks when the Knicks send the Heat home, Eric, when they send them home, we're gonna just play that opening, middle, closing of the show. John, not worried about the Knicks.
Let me ask you this. let me ask you this, because I'm watching the Lakers Grizzlies on my phone while I'm talking to you. If the Lakers go up 3-1, is that series over, Eric? Like,
Yeah, of course it is. Yeah,
like with
because
John
LeBron,
Morant,
I'm gonna tell you right now,
they potentially have 2 out of 3 at home.
John Morant can do whatever he wants to do. That hand is still injured, and it is your shooting hand. He's going to put the team on his back. The problem with John Morant is he's going to overwork himself. He's not going to play for moderation. He's not going to play for down the road. He's going to play in the moment, and he's going to go at 120 miles per hour because he wants to prove that his team, the Memphis Grizzlies, they have been the little brother for the longest time to the Warriors, to the Lakers, to all these other teams. John Morant's like, my team didn't get to be the number 2 seed because we were lackluster or because we had an easy schedule. We earned the right to be the number 2 team. So I'm going to do whatever it takes, because there is no tomorrow, to make sure that we advance to the second round. A 7 team is not going to beat a 2 team. And guess what? The answer to that is quite simple. It's LeBron James and it's Anthony Davis. Okay.
Well, and they have better shooters now too. To piggyback off that, I will say this, because I said it in our thread today, Eric. I said, and I know it doesn't sound like a crazy bold prediction, but if the Lakers don't win tonight, I don't care if they force 7 games. They're not winning the series. Like, and it's not even about being up 3-1. Like, you're at home. If they don't win tonight, Memphis will win this series, and I think Memphis would win the next 2 and end the series. Because yes, I get what you're saying about LeBron and Desmond Bane fired him up, but I don't.
Well, Dylan Brooks.
Dylan Brooks.
Sorry, yeah, Dylan Brooks. Yeah, Bane's injured. Dylan Brooks, yes. But I just, to what you're saying about Ja, the one thing, yes, he is going to go all out, but he doesn't try. And from even watching them, like when they played the Suns this year, and when I would watch like Lakers games or when they would play the Warriors, because like to your point, 100%, like those playoff series with the Warriors, like they made them feel like little brother, like, oh, you're cute, you're good, but you're not beating us. So like, I think John Morant doesn't try to force it, is my point. He's going to go hard, but like he knows he can get the ball to his guys and they'll do it. So yeah, the Lakers, I mean, it's a close game now, but if they don't win tonight, and I would say to that point, because they're not down 3-1, Memphis would be a team to come back from 3-1 because again, the injuries do suck. I mean, look, I look at it this way, and coulda, shoulda, woulda, if I know, but Steven Adams was playing. Like, that's
a different story, Mike. You
right,
know that. We all know that.
Right.
Reese knows that. John knows that. I know that. If Steven Adams was playing, it would be such a, I won't say lopsided. I would think it would be a more evenly contested. But here's the thing that everybody's talking about, and I'll just be very brief with this because I want to hear from Rock and Reese on this one. Mike, we've been together 15, 16 years. John, you and I have been together about 3-4 years now.
Feels like a lifetime.
It does feel like a lifetime sometimes. If someone comes after you and tries to attack your credibility, your repertoire, your character, you already know you ain't got to say a word, because I'll be the one to go off on somebody if they try to disrespect you. That is what's happening right now. That's what's happening right now with Anthony Davis. Anthony Davis is like, okay, LeBron got attacked by Dylan Brooks. I'm going to go out and show everybody that, number one, I am arguably the best big man in the league right now. I can play back-to-backs. And I'm going to show you, especially Dylan Brooks, that when you go after my boy, now you got to deal with me. And John Morant getting injured, if Steven Adams was there, would it be more contested? But see, I elevate it to that next level because it's one of those things where LeBron don't have to talk no more. Why? Because he showed it on the court, but now he's also got them pieces around him who are ready, willing, and able to step up at a moment's notice.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Reese.
Go ahead, Reese.
Yeah, and as I did, Eric, just to piggyback off you just brought up the major key of this entire series, Anthony Davis, because as great as a player as AD is, here's been his one knock. Can he stay healthy when it matters the most? And unfortunately for a majority of his career, no, he hasn't. And I'm thinking that's going to be another thing that's got a little bit of a chip on his shoulder when it comes to this, especially when it comes to this series. You got a hot Grizzlies team. They're young. They're on the rise. they've got somebody that if he matures off the court as well as on of it, is going to be one of the most bona fide faces of the league for the next decade or so, Morant. But it's like, while AD's still within the peak of his career, yeah, he wants to show that, hey, I can stay healthy. Hey, I can go the distance. And most importantly, hey, that championship in the bubble ain't going to be the only one that I'm going to have while I'm still active in the league. The question is, will they be able to do it though? Well, first we got to see how the rest of the series plays out.
Right.
And I'll say this too, and it's not even about being a Suns homer, Eric, is that, and I said Denver, everybody by the end season, oh, Denver, are they a number one? Look, Jamal Murray, to me, you know this from the bubble, has been the key to me. When he was out, look, Jokic ran out of gas 2 years ago when the Suns went to the finals and lost to the Bucks. Like the Suns, they swept the Nuggets. Yes, and then Michael Porter Jr. was hurt too. So it's like Jokic was, literally on fumes and still had a decent series, but the Suns swept them. They're a legit number one seed. And I've said that, and you know that. I've said that the whole second half of the season. Ain't nobody catching him. He's doing that. Now you have a healthy Jamal Murray. You have Michael Porter Jr., who's playing better. And I look at what Denver does and how they, again, the way they're playing, the way they play defense and that home court advantage. Look, you're going to get everything there. I'm looking forward to seeing a full matchup now with obviously KD, because I'm not, like you say, trying to put the cart before the horse. But yeah, I think the Suns and Nuggets series are both over. They're going to see each other in the next round. And I look at it like this for Denver, though. I think with KD, yes, a lot of people said the Suns became the favorite, but look what it's done even more. And not that he needed it, because he could score the whole time, but what Devin Booker has done. So I think that matchup's going to be awesome. The one matchup I want to ask you guys about, though, and look, both teams have protected their home court. The series never starts, as we always say, Eric, until the road team wins the game. Look, I don't think we learned anything about the Warriors. Yes, we do. We already knew they have championship pedigree. We already knew that they were going to respond to how things ended in Sacramento. Well, the first two games, I should say, in Sacramento. And the crap Draymond suspension, because I still think for grabbing somebody's ankle that Sabonis should have been suspended as well.
Yeah, not
you grab an ankle.
I disagree with you, John, because here's my thing. So Joel Embiid, he injured himself by trying to kick somebody, and he was out. Draymond Green stomps on someone's stomach, and he gets suspended. But Dylan Brooks apparently whiffs at LeBron's groin and gets what? Nothing? What's he get? Ain't no fine. I ain't heard no fine. I ain't heard no suspension.
Yeah.
So I get it. So, curb stomping or trying to curb stomp Sabonis
I don't even understand how he's playing in this series.
Well, he is just, but Sabonis, John, as an athlete, like I just remember the first time varsity wise, I go back to the first time it happened, like on the bottom of a fumble pile. And somebody did grab at my ankle, and I was literally, I could move my legs. I was kicking. Like, as an athlete, I'm not grabbing your knee. I'm not aiming for your knee. I'm not grabbing your ankle. Sabonis knew what he was doing. He should be suspended. Draymond Green should have been suspended too. He
should have been suspended for the series, Draymond.
No.
Stomping on somebody's chest?
No. John, I think we've all looked at several different angles. I think it was a reaction. And again, it's the playoffs. It's the heat of the moment. It's the emotion. And I understand we always talk about keeping yourself in check, but sometimes these things happen. And Sabonis and Draymond, if you're going to suspend one, you got to suspend them both. And if you suspend one for the series, you suspend both for the series, because it wasn't premeditated what Draymond did. Draymond reacted to what was being done to him. Now, whether Sabonis did it intentionally or unintentionally, the fact of the matter is,
Draymond also has a history, which makes it
okay.
worse.
And see, that's the problem that I have. The league is always going to look at Draymond's history. It's like with Draymond, when he goes into the playoffs, they anticipate him doing something to automatically suspend him for a game. And so what Draymond has to do, which I heard plenty of people say is Draymond has to, in this regard, he needs to mature.
Yep.
Okay. Sabonis, again, man who's been in the league, he knows what's going on. But that's the thing. I don't like saying that someone's a victim, but Draymond Green is a victim of his own circumstance. He created this narrative of being the Dennis Rodman, if you will, of this generation. And so when you try to go after him or provoke him or try to antagonize him, you know at some point he's going to respond. Why? Because that's who Draymond is. The repercussions of that is he's suspended and Golden State loses their key defensive guy for a game, giving the Sacramento Kings, a team, again, top 3 team in the Western Conference, a team that hasn't seen a playoff since 2002. Now they are back. All you did was add fuel to this. I am still saying right now, 2-2, this game 5 between Sacramento and the Golden State Warriors is going to be epic. It's going to be classic because I am still saying Sacramento wins. I'm saying the champs will not make it past the first round. But if Golden State wins game 5, it's over because you ain't going back to Sacramento. They will close it out at the Oracle Arena. But I'm saying when Sacramento wins in 5, it's game 5, game 7, you are either going to see the best of the Splash Brothers and the best of Draymond defensively, or Sacramento is going to show you why they are who they are in this moment this year.
Let me say this about
Coach of the Year.
How much does
yeah.
that
Well, he
injury
did.
affect
But-
things, though, for Fox? How much does that injury affect things?
It does, but they
Of
have
course it
depth.
affects, but he's going to play.
But they have depth though. Sacramento
gonna-
has depth.
I
Right.
know, but does that swing the series towards Golden State?
Well, Golden State still can't win on the road, is my point. So they
Their
haven't won on
record
the
hasn't
road all
been the
year.
greatest, but they can.
But their road record has been terrible, and they in the playoffs they haven't won anything in Sacramento. So that's why I said we didn't learn anything about it. I want to piggyback on Draymond real quick too, because John, the two things as an athlete, like look, when Draymond got suspended the first time against the Cavs, when he reached out, and I mean he did hit LeBron, but LeBron stepped over him. Any athlete knows, anyone, man, woman, child, like you step over somebody, like when Allen Iverson did it was one of my favorites in
Right,
LA
Lou.
because he hit that shot. I mean, look, he had nowhere to go, and Lou was on the ground, but Allen Iverson. Look, if he wasn't Allen Iverson and he hit that, a guy hit that shot and looked back, yeah, that probably would have started a little pushing, little shoving. But I'm just saying, LeBron James did what he's doing, and he stepped over him. LeBron should have been suspended too. You can go back through so many times of suspensions, but you grab somebody's ankle, and what are you supposed to do? Just sit there and let them hold it? Because you're like, not even when people are saying, well, trying to break out. Forget the play aside. As an athlete, I'm making my living, as we know, with my knees, my ankle, obviously a back. When we talked about this last week, Eric and Giannis, like, I mean, the way they can't soften the hardwood floor, and Ja and Giannis have those injuries. But you grab my ankle as an athlete, okay, I'm with Eric. I might not chest curb stomp you, but I guarantee you, being a huge hockey fan, I'm going to take your jersey and run your face into my fist. Like, I'm not going to throw a punch. I'm just going to take your jersey. Fine, suspend me. You grab another athlete's ankle. Don't tell me you don't know, especially John at that level. You don't know what you're doing. Now, did Draymond need to like stomp on him as hard? Nobody's going to say that he should have stomped on him. But you're not grabbing my livelihood and even trying to stop anything. So you can roll your eyes all you want. If you were in that position,
I'm tired of the Draymond stuff. I'm tired of him. He's a baby. He's immature. He talks his talk. He didn't learn from costing them that NBA Finals.
Which it was
Yeah,
LeBron's
no,
fault.
he didn't
My
learn.
point is, it's LeBron's fault. And the 3 incidents we talk about, Draymond's pass. It's the LeBron incident, which ended up. I mean, look, people can
Cost
say,
him
well,
the
it's just one
finals.
game, but yeah, right. And people can say, well, the Warriors still had a chance when he came back. The momentum was gone.
You give LeBron James a
everybody could
little
see
bit,
that.
and he's going to come back.
Right,
Yeah,
and
but,
LeBron caused that suspension. I would have punched LeBron in the
Go ahead,
face.
Reese.
Yeah, but then again, let's also think like at the same way, he was also responsible for beating him playing a role in beating him the next 2 years, and hell, even the one before that, because Draymond Green, he's basically the new Dennis Rodman, because he will do those minor things to antagonize his opponents. But yet, it's like, guess what? I'll take the hit, but now I got you out of your game right now when y'all was trying to dictate the pace to us.
Well, look,
and
right now, say Draymond Green's Dennis Rodman. Hold on, but he is not the rebounder Dennis Rodman was.
I mean, well, I ain't going as far as the rebounding thing. I was just talking about as far as like antagonizing and getting under people. Yeah. But in that aspect,
he pokes the bear and he knows what to do, because that's where Draymond's mental faculties are much higher than I feel a lot of these young NBA players. Draymond knows if you give him ammunition, he's going to hold on to it until it is necessary for him to use it. And then once he uses it, this is not a sniper guy. This is not a guy who is methodical and plans his attack. When Draymond unloads, he just takes the entire chamber and says he loads that bad boy up, and then it's just and it's gone. And at that point, what can you do? See, people can absorb some stuff, but when you are continually getting barraged by one man, night in and night out in a 7-game playoff series, second after second, minute after minute, what does Draymond do? He wears you down. Whether it's during the regular season, he starts and he plants that seed to make you doubt who you are. Like, you can't guard me, you can't cover me, you can't do this, you can't do that. What, Mike? Your face is saying something.
No. I'm listening to what you're saying. You're 100% about Draymond, because he yaps. But I was going to say, we're going to wrap with hockey, and there's an overtime score that just came through. And
Toronto.
Keep going, Eric, because I'm with you.
Listen.
We're going to take away what the other thing I was going to say about Draymond, and he talks up and down the court. But to your point, to Reese's point, even to John's, like, he can talk back and forth because he's playing that defense. He can back it up. Like, he's going to get in your head. And to Reese's point, you throw me off my game, like you throw somebody off their game. And Eric knows how. And John, I don't know if Eric and I had this conversation before. I don't understand being 6'7" and taller and missing a layup. Like, I'm sorry. I don't understand being 6'7" and taller, and you put it goes off the glass, and I'm like, I get there's a defender there, but sometimes there's not a defender. You beat him and you miss him. I'm sorry, I will rip an NBA player. You're in the NBA and you miss a 1 foot, 2 foot layup, but Draymond will get in your head to do that, but his defense can back it up. It's just those 3 incidents. I'm just with a lot of the ilk that if you weren't going to suspend Sabonis, then you shouldn't have suspended Draymond. You grabbed the ankle.
Mike, I just saw the score come in, and I am just as shocked as you are. Wow.
Yeah, especially considering this was Toronto, like 4-1.
Yeah, Tampa was up 4-1 when I was watching the Devils beat the Rangers, Eric, which is such a beautiful
Toronto to score 3 goals in the third period. Did they take their goalie out of the net?
No.
I mean,
dude, you'll have to do a report on the Lightning melting down tomorrow.
But if I could wrap this up real quick with as far as the series itself goes, Game 5 is going to tell who the Kings truly are in this, because now you're deadlocked, but now you're back home. It's basically a best out of 3. It's like, do you have the maturity to match with the skill to take 2 of these 3 games? Because Golden State, been there, done that. Granted, now there are some pieces missing from, of course, the last year's run and whatnot, but the core's still there because Steph's been there, Clay's been there, Draymond's been there, and whatnot. That these Kings, they're now swimming in that deep water now, and it's like, are they going to beat a minnow or are they going to beat a shark?
Okay, really quick. We got about 5 minutes left, so let me go through the games and get your guys' opinion, and I'll just go John, then Reese, then Mike. So Boston, Atlanta. Do the Celtics close it out tomorrow, John? Yes or no?
Yeah, that one's over.
Reese?
Game over.
Mike?
Atlanta wins.
So we're going to – okay. All right. So Minnesota, Denver. Nuggets lead 3-1. Is the series over, John?
Yeah.
Reese?
Wolves are going fishing.
Okay. Mike?
The Wolves.
All right, unanimous there. So Denver is moving on. Mike, I know where you're at with the Clippers and the Suns, so you ain't got to tell me. But let me ask John and let me ask Reese. Clippers, Suns, do KD and Devin and CP3 close it out tomorrow night?
But Kawhi's not playing, so that one's over.
Reese?
Yep. Done.
All right, so let's move to the next set. So we've got, do the Knicks close it out on Wednesday against the Cavaliers?
Yes.
I don't
Reese?
think so.
Yes.
I think
You
that
think
they're going to end up.
Cleveland's got another one in them?
They got another one in them. I think this will end up going 7 and being a wild
I-
finish.
I think Cleveland takes this one, but they're just delaying the inevitable. Knicks finish it in the Garden, though. So,
That's 6. Okay. All right. So then Lakers, Grizzlies. We were talking about that most of the night. Does LeBron in Memphis and AD go up 3-1 over the Grizzlies Wednesday night? Mike.
Do they win tonight?
Oh, well, okay. Yeah,
No,
we have
the
to. Right.
It's still going on.
Game's still going on. Okay, so we'll come back to that one. So, John, you were successful this evening. Do you close it out in Milwaukee on Wednesday, John?
No, I said it all along. I have proof in text messages. On shows. I said Miami in 6 all the way.
Okay. All right. Reese, how are you feeling about that? Miami, do they close it out in 6 or do they actually go to Milwaukee and close it out in game 5?
They're taking it. They're taking it in 6.
Taking it in 6. Mike, how do you feel?
Well,
Bucks in
Mike,
7, baby. Bucks win.
in 7.
you had a chance to join the good side, man.
And then the game that we just got done talking about, this is how we're going to close out the show tonight. And Reese, thank you so much for being with us tonight.
Anytime, guys.
Golden State, Sacramento. I am saying Sacramento goes up 3-2 over the defending champs and closes it out in 7. John, where do you see this series going?
I see it going 7. Like I said, with Golden State, a team like that, they're never dead until they're dead. So
Okay.
I see it's going 7, and it's going to be a wild finish as well.
Reese, what do you see?
I'm gonna give this one a really crazy one. I say the Warriors win game 5.
Okay.
Sacramento forces game 7, but the Warriors ultimately win it.
Wow, the Warriors get
So
to
the Warriors, who have been
Hell
bad on the
no.
road this entire
I
season,
love it.
win
I love
game
madness.
5
Yeah, because
and
you want to
game
know why?
7 in Sacramento.
Yeah, because here's the reason why I'm seeing this go as crazy as it sounds.
Mm-hmm.
Because Mike's been saying it all damn show. The series really don't start till somebody wins on the road. And yeah, I'm seeing both of these two pull it off. I'm seeing both of these two pull off something crazy. Because
Okay.
All right.
All
I mean,
right,
I can
so-
get
so
with that,
Mike-
but
Mike, take us home with this.
Oh man, I got the Kings winning in 6. I just think that everything we talk about, as much as I come on, man. I love Klay Thompson. I love Klay Thompson, man. Pac-12 all day long, kid.
I know.
I'm all about Klay Thompson and his splashes. But that being said, something crazy would be the Warriors losing at home. I believe that Sacramento goes home and wins this game, and then they go back to the Oracle, like you say, Eric. And I think somehow, look, I mean, if Steph wants to do another Chris Webber imitation and call timeouts you don't have, dog, I mean, go ahead and do it. But I know it's the 30-year anniversary and all, and I love Steph, so I'm not even. I mean, Ray's not here to give me. I'm all about Steph anyway. But no, man, I think the Kings take the next 2.
Okay.
And if they don't, but again, for game 7, I'm not gonna take the Warriors to win on the road because I would think they would each win at home the next 2 games, and that's game 7. There's my typical answer. But I got to say this real quick about hockey, Eric. Your boy Killorn scored 2 goals. He hadn't scored in a while, and Austin Matthews came back. He scored 2. Like they were up 4-1, and the Leafs, who can never get out of the first damn round, have now taken a 3-1 lead over Tampa. Like that is
naturally they'll blow this series.
That
So
is
they'll blow
insane.
this series,
Well,
but
I'm not
the
going to
Leafs
go that
will.
far, but I will say this: like the Devils They played like crap at home. They went into the Garden. Eric, I can't tell you how warm my heart was after the Devils scored the goal to go up 2-1, because it was just silence from all those Rangers fans and the Devils fans that had to pay too much for tickets that got in there when they were up there. Oh my God.
Hey,
Eric,
John, John, I think you should extend an invitation to Mike Caratenuto to be on the flagship show of Sideline Sports Network and talk to Jake Malik, the Rangers guy that he is.
Oh, I'd love to
I think
talk
that
to
conversation should happen.
Oh.
Just
Reese,
I'm just putting
Reese,
it
it's
out
like
there.
I told you
think it's
before.
Great ratings to watch those two guys.
Rangers fans
talk
just
about
whine. I got so many texts like when Heischer slid into Shesterkin, and it's like he's going for the puck, and they're like, "Oh, that's legal." All Rangers fans do is whine. Did I whine after our ass beat downs 5-1 each night in game 1 and 2? John, did you see me post anything whining? We got owned.
Nope.
They got 2 goals in 2 games at home where they killed it all year.
Just saying, we're chilling 3-1. Like, we ain't got to worry about none of this drama that Mike's worried about.
here we
Like,
go. It's not drama.
we're up 3-1. Like, we're coasting
Okay.
along.
Well,
like,
when Jersey
have fun
went,
in your little pool of drama.
Okay.
Like, we
you,
don't
All
got to worry
right.
about
it's
that.
not drama. All right, Eric.
Mike
whatever.
opened the
He's done.
show, but let me close it out, man. Rock and Reese, thank you so much for being a part of it. Blue Hawks 13,
Glad
my
to
brother
be
John
glad to
Shear.
be part of it.
Yes. John, are you on your way to Kansas City?
I leave Wednesday morning.
Safe travels, my brother.
Safe flight, man.
Mike, what about you?
No, I will be at Brittany Griner on Thursday.
Okay. Awesome.
Yes.
So yeah, as you see, the crew is holding it down, man. As you see, I'm just suited and booted, as they say. This is my pre-draft outfit. I might get drafted in the 7th round. Mr. Irrelevant. Like what was his name?
Brock Purdy.
Brock Purdy. Yeah, I'll be number 262 like Brock Purdy. Come out and take my team week 17 to the NFC Championship game. So, just saying it might happen. Anyhow, for all of us at the Sports Arena, part of the No Filter Network, man, much love to everybody. Thank y'all so much for rocking with us. We will see y'all next Monday night. Everybody stay blessed. Peace.